What's up, world? This is Maxwell 3000 Productions. I am Maxwell 3000. I want to welcome you to real role models in our community. Today, I have the absolute pleasure to have Issa Montez with me. Issa Montez, I have the honor of calling this man my brother, my friend, and my neighbor. I've known you about 10 years, if not more. And when I thought about you and how to describe you, I really thought of you as a genuine dude and just really genuine in all those things that I said. And also that you are a dedicated father and husband and a really exemplary family man. And that's kind of my relationship to you. But really, you're more than that, and you're an entrepreneur. And that's kind of what I wanted to have you on here today is to talk about your company. Royal Wash and Detail. So tell me about your company. Tell me where you're at, how to get a hold of you, all that.
Well, first, man, thanks for all those kind words, man. That means a lot to me. You're right there. You're like we're right there at 10 years, and man, it's just been a blessing to know you and your family. I mean, we go personal. You know what I mean? Your dad married us, and it's been great. Like all that, it's been a blessing to know you, your family, your sister, your mom. It's just been it's been great. So I do appreciate those kind words.
Yes,
And
sir.
as far as like Royal Washington Details, very easy to reach us. We have a website. We have a live calendar. We have everything laid out. Pricing, availability. We have it's a royalwashanddetail.com. And we also have our phone. It's 214-927-2071. You can reach us through Instagram. Same thing as Royal Washington Detail. And we have our location here in Lebanon. We're located at 1137 North Castle Heights, 37087. It's right by Mike's Foodland. It's right across it. So we're next to the Sips. So and we're there all the time. We're there from Monday to Saturday, from 8 to 5. So that's the way you can reach us. So that's the rundown of it.
Yeah, cool. So that's where you're at, how to get a hold of you. Tell me a little bit about your services. I know when I was looking at your website, man, you really offer a lot of different things. So tell us a little bit about your services.
All right, man. So the main thing that we service is it's detailing. Our details business, cleaning cars, making sure that they're nice and shiny. Um, we focus on getting the car detailed. So that's when I first started. A lot of people were trying to like, yeah, you can do this and do that and do so many different routes. But I wanted to focus on one thing and one thing only, and was car detailing. Getting focused on getting those cars cleaned. So we have a few different services. We have like again detailed for vehicles, RVs, boats. That's our main thing. We also detail bikes, motorcycles. We chrome, all those motorcycles with chrome and all those different things. We can get that done. We dabble a lot in like window tinting, but we're not focused on that. But we could do those things, and paint correction. We make sure that cars, we do all the correction, paint touch up, little things like windshield repair. Um, those are the things that we offer on our services. So everything's on the website. If you go on our website, you can actually see the packages. We have add-ons. So if you don't see something in the package, the good thing about our website is that we're very transparent with pricing. A lot of those detail businesses, they do the bait and switch. They get you in for $100 or 120, and then they switch it up to like a bunch of different things. On what we offer is really transparent. We show we let you know the pricing on the car, the size of the vehicle, the condition, what your service that you want, and we're very clear. Before we start the service as well, if you need an add-on, so you book something that let's say the most popular detail, which is like a maintenance and keeping your car clean. But if you need something more in depth and detailed, like shampoo carpets or get your seats cleaned or shampooed, we let you know ahead of time, like, hey, it would be ideal for you to do this add-on and get your vehicle looking right, and you'll spend that money. But if you're okay with it, we can keep that smaller package that you choose. It's not a deal breaker. But I mean, of course, we do recommendations, things like extreme heavy dirtiness and stuff like that. We let you know ahead of time before you spend that money on those things. And at the end of the day, we want to make sure that the customer's happy. So giving them that advice, giving them those things that they can do an add on. Those are the things that they can that help the relationship. You know what I mean? We don't like again, we don't like that bait and switch situation. So we're very transparent on the pricing and on of course having good service. So that's mainly what we're focused on. So yeah, that's hopefully that answered that question. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would just add to that, like the website is really good. I went over there and looked at your stuff, and it is a really easy to like navigate website. And like you said, all your prices are on there, and you really offer broad services, but you really focus on the vehicle detail. And I would just say some of the things that I've seen on your Instagram and other images, man, you stripe up a cargo area on the vacuum cleaner like I might try to do my lawn and stuff. You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about how you got started. Were you kind of always in this industry? Where did you start out with this?
I mean, honestly, dude, I was a weekend warrior. I was a weekend warrior. I try to keep my cars clean, my wife's cars clean. I was always, being neat with my cars. I always took pride on the vehicle that I drove, and making sure that it was clean. I had all, by the time I jumped into the business, I already had all the equipment. Because I was a weekend warrior, I wanted to do it. I wanted to keep that clean. And it started back when we lived in New Mexico. I had I cleaned my car, I buffed it. I was, I had it looking good, nice and shiny. And a buddy of mine stopped by just to say hi, just, to hang out. And he complimented my car, and I was like, yeah, man, I spent like 3 hours on this car. Like it's a lot of work. And he was like, would you do mine? And he's like, I'll give you $100 for it, And I was like, it's a lot of work for $100, man. I'm not doing that. And he upped it up, I was like, all right, I'll give you 200. And I'm like, that's still a lot of work. It's 3 hours worth of work, man. I
Yeah.
don't know about that. And he was like, I'll give you 200 and a case of beer. And I was like, sold. You know what I mean? And that actually was the thing that just like clicked, and I was like, hey, this could be a business. This could
Yeah.
be something that I could pursue, and I like doing it. It's not for me. It's not like it's not a big deal. It's like I like doing it. I focus on it. I like the details. I want to make sure that everything gets done right. Man, I cleaned this car that weekend. It was like maybe once I got going and I wanted to get done fast. I was like, man, it didn't take me 3 hours. I got it done in 2, and that just triggered it. That's how I got started. That's how I just decided, fast forward, 3 years when we moved up to Tennessee, here in the Nashville area. And I was, not really feeling that, my job anymore. There was a lot of, office politics and stuff like that I wasn't like a big fan of. And I decided to make the jump, man. And I just did it, and it happened. So been
That's really
blessed.
cool. So like what it sounds like to me, it sounds like it started with a passion and something that you had an interest in your car and in the presentation of it, which, I mean, is a common passion for a lot of folks, obviously, right? But there's something else that you had something in you that was like, hey, I can make a business of this. You even back in New Mexico, maybe before you made the big jump, it seemed like there's that entrepreneurial spirit, I guess, maybe, and that's pretty cool. Um, as far as when you did make that jump, and you said you kind of already had all the equipment, and you already had obviously the know-how from the passion and just your own interest. what do you think was like maybe the biggest hurdle or the biggest barrier that you experienced when you were getting started?
Yeah, just I mean, I believed in myself. You know what I mean? One thing that my wife now, back then she was telling me was like, man, if you put the effort and passion and things that you do into the job that you have currently have into something on your own, like you're gonna be successful no matter what. But it's there's still a bug in your mind, you know what I mean? Like that like, hey, what if, situation. What if you fail? That fear of failure, you know what I mean? That's a big, big hurdle to jump. And I'm gonna be honest, I was scared. I left my job, I started, detailing. And at one point I was like, man, I need to make sure that I'm covered. um, Everybody has, maybe not everybody, but I had credit card bills, I had a mortgage, I had,
Responsibilities.
car notes, all that stuff, in the back of my mind. I was like, what am I going to do to make sure that this is taken care of? That's my was the main focus. Like, I can start this venture, but I still need to cover this area of my life, the financial, part of it. So I got scared, man. I made the jump and then I got scared and I went back and like I went to a warehouse job, you know what I mean? I was like, I want to make sure that I at least got those things covered. And a few months later when I was like, man, I can't do both. I got a full in jump. And I think that's where that, with that fear of failure, with that fear of like, what if, all that definitely was the big, big thing that for me was when I first started that, like had me like a little, hesitant about it. So
Hmm.
that would be my biggest thing was like, fear of failure.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably something that also everybody kind of experiences in life one way or the other. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, all right, well, I don't. We could spend a really long time, and I would really like to dive into more of your story, but just kind of keeping it brief and about your business. What do you want people, and not just about your business, but what do you want people to know about you and Royal Wash and Detail? What's your
Well,
tips, I guess, for success?
okay, cool. So, the main so first, things that want you guys like everybody to know about, but myself, the business. It's more of a family owned business. I mean, of course, we're a small business. We have one location. We have one mobile unit. Um, and what my service do, it's just like we're trying to buy people's time back. That's my main goal. My main goal is like for people to have like, instead of spending those 3 hours, we provide that service and they can spend those 3 hours either spending the time with their family. They go out to dinner with their family or their spouse. This just like letting people know that our main goal is for people to buy their time back. You know what I mean? So in order for them to have the time with their families, have the time with their loved ones, or even just like actual work. Sometimes we do work at their office and stuff like that. So just making sure that that's our main goal is for them to get time back and enjoy their lives. I mean, I think that's what my service, it's what I offer. And it's something that I do appreciate myself too, when I pay for my lawn to get mowed, and that's the time that I buy them back from them. That's the service they're providing me. And a lot of people think it's just the service of mowing the lawn, but to me, it's more of my time and what I want to do with it, and spending more time with the business and with my family, which
Yeah.
is the same way I'm pretty sure they're doing it in other areas, and it just helps everybody out. So that's what I want people to take from my business. You know what I mean? So we're just a family-owned business trying to make people's lives easier.
Yeah, and man, that really that I man, you just said it, and you just reiterated my statement earlier about you being a genuine guy. Man, what I hear you talking about is family and community values, and that's a big thing that I appreciate about you, brother. Um, so once again, so you got the location and the mobile detailing. Tell us again where the location is.
Yeah, our locations here in Lebanon, it's 1137 North Castle Heights. It's right across Mike's Foodland. We're next to the Sips corner store. It's a great location, a lot of traffic. It's easy to find. We have a beautiful sign out there, black and white building, so it's not hard to miss.
All right, and then give us the number and the email and all your contact info.
Yeah, so we have our website is royalwashanddetail.com. You can also find us on Instagram, Royal Wash and Detail. And my phone number is 214-927-2071.
Awesome, awesome. Issa, thank you so much, brother, for doing this with me. This is really important and valuable. I think you're an impactful member of the community, and it's just an honor to highlight you. And I would really enjoy to do a follow-up on you and maybe get to know your backstory a little bit more if maybe we could do that sometime.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. I would love to do that. I have I always wanted to write a book, and this is like a little thing that is like, hey, yeah, and that's a little like just showing and sharing and stuff like that. Yeah, so I would definitely love to do that.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so this is Real Role Models in Our Community, brought to you by Maxwell 3000 Productions. I am Maxwell 3000. Peace and love.